And now for something completely different. Season 4 of Black Mirror has given us a murder spree, a commentary on dating apps, and even a playful tribute to Star Trek. But episode 5, Metalhead, stands out as the most obviously different in terms of style and story. But it didn't really agree with a lot of the viewers, so let's find out why. Let's do it. So, Metalhead is written by Charlie Brooker and is directed by David Slade, who directed one of my favourite vampire films, 30 Days of Night. And Metalhead might just be the most minimalistic episode of Black Mirror ever made. It's got a minimal cast of 3 people, very little in terms of set design because most of this was shot on the moors of Scotland. And also, this is the first episode of Black Mirror to be completely shot in black and white. Removing all colour really gives Metalhead that bleak sense of hopelessness that it's really striving for. Metalhead starts off with 3 characters who are led by a woman called Bella, who's played by Maxine Peake, in this desolate wasteland, and they're currently on a scouting mission to try and find an item in this old warehouse. What this item is remains a mystery, but we're told that it's something that will help a dying child. Anyway, when they find this item, they stumble across this robotic dog, which is programmed to track and kill all humans. After it kills both the men in this group, it sets its sights on Bella, who managed to get away, and now she's running across the moors to try and get back to her people at their camp. And that might be why not a lot of people responded to this episode compared to the other ones, because essentially what it boils down to is a robot kills humans storyline, which we've seen done before in films like The Terminator. Granted, this episode does it a little bit differently because it's a robot dog and not a robot shaped like a person, but it's still a derivative concept that we have seen done before. And what Black Mirror is usually very good at is giving us something that we haven't seen before. Charlie Brooker was inspired by the Boston Dynamic team who engineered the robot dog drones that you might have seen on the internet. And yeah, the dog in this episode does bear a striking resemblance to the robot that they designed. And yeah, whilst I was watching this, I was a little bit freaked out by this because it was very relentless in its hunt for Bella. But personally, I would have preferred something that was a little more original than a robot that was programmed with the whole crush, kill, destroy ammo. We've already dejaed this vu. Maxine Peake gives a visceral performance as Bella. You really feel her exhaustion and her terror. She's a likable character because she remains optimistic even in this shitstorm situation that she's in. She even risks her life and the life of 2 others basically just to retrieve something to help ease a child's pain, even though the child's gonna die anyway. That's very selfless of her and them, so it's impossible not to root for her. But I still had very mixed feelings about Metalhead. I did appreciate that it was trying to be something different compared to the other episodes, but its execution of trying to be different was just a typical Monster of the Week story with very little to say. Stylistically, it was quite striking, but I thought to myself, if this episode had been filmed in colour, would I still have felt the same way after watching it? And whilst the monochrome does add something, it doesn't really save this episode from being very formulaic. I really hate saying this, but yeah, it really is a case of style over substance. But I will say the music by Anselmi David was very effective. The moment that we first see the robotic dog is quite scary, just because the music just gives it that horrible tension. All you hear is strings and it's just incredibly tense. It's kind of reminiscent of the music you hear in The Shining. So to conclude guys, Metalhead was probably my least favourite episode in season 4. I was engaged by the whole chase survival story, but I was just ultimately let down by an episode that felt so basic. Black Mirror episodes usually have a little bit more going for it than this one, and whilst it does make you think about the kind of technology we might build to help protect us, backfiring on us, it's already been done before in so many other sci-fi films. So yeah, you can't help but feel a little bit underwhelmed. But also, this episode was very ambiguous and it left a lot of unanswered questions, and I think that was purposeful of Charlie Brooker when he wrote this. But I will say this, if you're too ambiguous with it and you leave too many questions, it kind of defeats the purpose of the story that you're telling, because it's very much a show, don't tell approach. And the revelation at the end where we find out that what they were looking for at the very beginning was basically a teddy bear for a dying child, it wasn't as powerful as I think the episode was aiming for it to be. It was kind of a nice sentiment that even in the bleakest of times, people would risk their lives to ease a child's pain. I guess that was nice, but it did leave me thinking, would 3 people seriously, willingly go on this mission, which seems so dangerous and kind of pointless? 1 person maybe, but 3? This episode just starts very abruptly. You're just sort of plonked into this conversation that they're having in this car. And because it's so vague as to what they're doing, we don't really know what their motivations are. Why would they risk their lives for something that is just a massive gamble? I could understand why Bella might do it, but what are the other 2 people's motivations for? Are they related to this person? Do they have a personal attachment to them? Are they being blackmailed into doing it, or are they forced to do it? It just left me asking loads of questions because we didn't get to see these characters' thought process into why they're doing this mission. And yeah, that just kind of took me out of the episode a little bit because I couldn't understand why they'd be doing something this dangerous when really it's for a mission that's kind of pointless. Why risk your life for someone that's going to die anyway? I need more context to understand, and if I don't have it, then I just end up frustrated because the episode just leaves too many questions lingering in my mind. Questions that could have easily been answered. So guys, in the end, I'm going to give Metalhead a 4 out of 10. Only one more episode to go, but be sure to let me know what you thought of Metalhead in the comments section below, and be sure to check out my other videos about Black Mirror, and if you do like these videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching, guys. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Gearfield, and I'll see you next time.